Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and it is raining. I know you can probably hear it hitting the top of my work van, but it's raining like a mug out this jump. And you know it's because of Hurricane Florence. I just want to say real quick, if I haven't said it before, I apologize. Those of you that are in North Carolina, South Carolina, or anywhere that the hurricane is affected by, I hope you guys can, get to a safe place, evacuate your area. Listen to what they're saying in the news, guys, because I know that the hurricane said that it downgraded to a Category 2, but still, high winds, and it still does damage. You see, I'm here in the DMV, in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, and we've been raining here all week, so, I mean, it definitely, and I'm not even near where the hurricane is at this point, but still, it affects a lot of areas on the East Coast, so, you guys are on the East Coast with me. Get somewhere safe. I pray that everybody does that. Like I said, those of you subscribers that are in those areas, please get somewhere safe. If you got family somewhere else, get to a hotel, whatever the case may be. If you choose to ride it out, okay, but make sure you board up your windows, sandbags, and places that water falls downward to. Just make sure that you're safe, guys. That's the main thing right now. Also, as far as our Cowboys go, just a couple of updates. I didn't get a chance to it last night, but yesterday, David Irving came back to the team. He's still suspended for 3 more games, but he's allowed to be at the facility. He's working with the strength and conditioning coaches. He can't practice and he can't go to team meetings, so those are the things that he cannot do. So he can't play, no meetings, no practice. So hopefully after these 3 weeks, David Irving can come back in shape. His strength and conditioning staff can get him right together, get him back in shape so he can get ready to roll, because we need him with them long arms to get to these quarterbacks. Also, too, see, it sucks having guys that are suspended for 4 games in the season because, 1, they're missing valuable game time. That's 1. 2, I always feel sorry for that one guy that's on a bubble that they always continuously have to cut to get these players back on the roster. You know what I mean? It's almost like you go home, you tell your family, oh, I made the team, and then 4 weeks later it's like, I'm cut. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do. Like Kadeem Edwards, I feel sorry for him. He didn't got cut 3-4 times from this team this offseason. And, I mean, he got cut again when they just signed Xavier Sulo-Filo the other day. So, I don't know. When you're a core guy and you're a draft pick, a high draft pick, life is good. You get the money, you get to stay on the team, hopefully, if you're that guy. But when you're one of those guys that are like undrafted bubble guys, you have to work your ass off every day because you never know when you're gonna get cut. You never know what team you're gonna get put on. It's like you can't even buy a house because it's like you think that you're firm where you are, and then all of a sudden you get cut and you go to another team, and it's like, now you got to go get another place here. So, a lot of these players, they just get apartments, month-to-month leases, and, again, like the NFL, yeah, they get paid good, but the problem is when you're that bubble guy or you're that practice squad guy, you make $7,000 a week, which is, some decent money for average guys like us. But when you have to keep relocating, you're spending a lot of money, and, you're betting on yourself. So, that's the hard part about it, but either way, I just hope that when David Irving comes back after the 4-game suspension, he's good to go. Because like I said, our pass rush has been great, but having him on there would definitely help. I love when he's playing. I just don't like his off the field stuff. I just hope that he gets that out of the way, and I hope that he got that out the way. That way he can focus on football and keep it rolling, keep it churning, because that's what it's all about right now. Also, too, like I was about to say, Randy Gregory, you guys know he had a concussion in the game, and he had a bit of a knee injury too, kind of minor. He didn't practice yesterday, but he was on the field. Well, he was there. So they're going to work him in slowly. He's still going through concussion protocol. With the league rules, you have to go through that. So once they release that and make sure that he's good to go, then he can practice again. Hopefully he can play this weekend to help us out against these New York Giants. Yeah, that's pretty much for the as far as and Xavier Woods, there's still really no word on when he's going to come back. We were thinking that he was supposed to play this week, but they might keep him out another week. Like Garrett says all the time, day by day, day by day. But outside of that, we don't really have any issues. I was mentioning in the last video that Dak Prescott had a bit of an ankle injury from when he got tackled the wrong way in the last game. But he's going to be fine because he's still practicing. For him, just, you know, putting ice on that knee and that ankle and making sure it's all good. But because again, we need all hands on deck for these games. All hands on deck, all game plans, whatever the case may be. You look at what we have with, hopefully with the game plans, but I was just looking at some things and I was looking like, you know, since we lost Des Bryant, and Jason Witten, we have a lack of red zone threats right now. And when I look at what this team needs and what we have right now, we don't really have those threats. We don't have many players on this offense that the teams didn't know about yet, because there might be a golden gem in there that just hasn't arrived yet. You look at what we have with Rico Gathers. They didn't play him. They had Dalton Schultz active instead. He only had 2 snaps in the game, didn't do a damn thing. But I feel like if they put Rico out there, you have a bit of a threat. You have a big guy, 6'8", somebody that can go get that ball and get you that touchdown. I mean, we've seen what he did in preseason with Cooper Rush. Him and Cooper Rush got a bit of a thing going there. They got some chemistry because they play with each other a lot. Now, I think that we have an identity of doing the same thing over and over again. You already know how Jason Garrett is. We have our press conferences with him, and he literally just sits there and he's like wearing the same thing every press conference. He says the same thing every press conference. If you can take a little bit and cut different parts of his press conferences when he answers questions, he says a lot of the same things over and over again. And it's just that repetitiveness gets annoying sometimes. And it's like, as a fan base, we want to see more out of our coach. We want to see more. Like, it's okay that you can be conservative sometime, but when it comes to these other teams being exotic and doing different things, you have to keep up with that. If you can't keep up with that in the league, you're going to be a loser every day. And you don't want to be a loser. So with that being said, that's the annoying part. Now, just adding small little wrinkles. It's not like you got to do a whole lot. It's more of making sure that your guys are in the right place. I mean, it's not hard. Now, everybody always says, oh, yes. And I know my man Vosh, that's my man, 50 grand all day. But that's what we see differently at. You know, he always talks about player execution. Yes, player execution is half of that. And I will say that, and I agree with him when it does come to player execution, but if you have players that are not superstars, you have players that you have to do different things, you have to be a little bit more creative, and that comes with the play calling. Yes, the players were like that one play that Tavon Austin had that was gonna go for 9 yards or whatever the case may be. That was a nice play that Linehan brought up. But the problem with that is it was a penalty. I think it was on Tyron Smith. But again, these holding calls, again, you know, we had a lot of penalties in the game. But with the offensive line, you're going to get holding calls because, for real, technically, when it comes to offensive player, the way they're pulling and tugging on each other, depending on how you look at it, you can call that on every play, for real. But, I mean, it's all on interpretation. Like, can't tackle the man to the ground, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I just look at it as we need to get focus. We need to not do careless mistakes. We need to work on these penalties because, again, you don't want to negate a positive run or a positive catch because of a penalty. Now, they got to work on that, and they've already stated that. So, you know, that's the bottom line with that. But again, with Jason Garrett being the same and doing the same things over and over again, teams see that. Teams already know what we're going to do. I look at it like this. How many games have you watched where the Cowboys always consistently sit there and take the ball first? They take the ball first. And I'm like, I don't want the ball first all the time because I want the ball back at halftime. Because the problem is you get down in the game and you kind of lose your momentum because you're trying to catch up and you're trying to score before the half. And then you realize that, oh, yeah, well, we had the ball first. So now we got to kick the ball right back to them in the second half. And it gives them even more momentum on their side to beat you. And again, I would rather, because of our defense and how stout they are right now, I would rather our defense be on the field first. That way, it gets our offense that they can sit on the sideline and they can see what that team is doing on offense. It's like, okay, so we know how to counteract this next time we go out. So again, do something different. Change it up, man. Change it up. Like, I want the ball second. Give them the ball first. Put our defense out there. Stop them. Control the game. It's all about controlling the game. You put Rico Gathers in there. Simple stuff. Get him in a position where you could throw the ball to him 20 yards downfield. First of all, we always run the ball on first down every time. I understand that run is our first identity, but every time we run on the first play of the game, it's either a negative run or like with Zeke. I mean, because even how strong he is, I mean, he can make something out of nothing. He can make something that would have been a negative into like a 2 or 3 yard run. But again, you don't want that. You want to go out there and establish your dominance, especially because the Giants doing all this, and this is what they do all the time. So because of that nature, they already know that they got the upper hand. They know how to get inside Dak's head. They know how to get inside these players on offense head. So to counteract that, do something that they ain't seen. You play them twice a year. They know you. We know them. So with that being said, you still have to iron out things and make the necessary changes and adjustments to try to counteract that, because other teams are doing it to us, so we have to do it to them. Point blank, period. Now, again, give Rico Gathers the ball. Throw him a 20-yard out. Throw the ball deep on first down, just to loosen up the defense, so they can sit there and be like, did he just throw the ball deep? I didn't think Dak can do that. Okay, well, prove them wrong. Play your game and prove them wrong. That's all I got to say about that. So, that's all I got for right now, y'all. With that being said, I just wanted to share that bit of tidbit with you. Let me know what you think. Like, share, comment. It's your boy E2 Blue. I'll talk to y'all later.